Hey, and a pleasant good morning to you from Tony'sPicks.com. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to Night Moves here for Thursday, April 2nd. We got a great day of sports betting action for sure. We got a little of everything here. And yeah, maybe the key word is a little of everything here on Thursday. We've got a little Major League Baseball, just 3 games. We've already seen a rain out here. On one of the ball games, and we've got also a little bit of NIT and college basketball crown tournament games today. It's a little 4-pack of college ball, 6 games in the NBA. I think we're going to look at all of them. And then on the ice, we've got a long list of hockey games. I know everybody's looking forward to that, so we'll preview we're coming down the wire, man, and we don't really know what's going on over there in the Western Conference pretty much, so we'll still get some more answers here in the next week or two here. We're running out of games there, and we could use a little respite here of this crazy NHL schedule, can't we? The ups and the downs of a lot of games and a little games, but well, first kind of off day there in Major League Baseball. We're still going to look at the matchups there. So, hey, thanks for joining me here on Night Moves, part of the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. And we're going to say hello to some folks. Let a few more folks come in here. I'll preview and review some of the games from yesterday here on Night Moves. It was a good day, exciting day of Major League Baseball and that college basketball action. And hey, are any of my friends down under in the chat yet? Maybe we'll have picks here. National Rugby League game tonight, Australian Football League game tonight. Who wants to play down under with me here on Night Moves coming up in about 90 minutes or so? Some action down in Australia. All right, let's take a look at some of the games here. Major League Baseball action here for Wednesday. We did have some night move winners, I hope, in here somewhere. Yesterday, we did have the Mets and the Cardinals. Game 2 go under there. Mason Wynn had that walk-off bloop single for St. Louis. The Mets in the 3-game series went 1 for 29 with runners in scoring position. They're playing the St. Louis Cardinals. Now, maybe St. Louis is going to be a little bit better this year. That was their ace out there today in Liberatore going against Peralta. But that is just bad news for the Mets. The game went 11 innings. The Mets cannot drive anybody in. It is hard to watch right now. And just know we're back at it. It's almost like nothing ever changes with the Mets right now. Let's see if they can do something about this. But doesn't look like much help in there for Soto right now. And we'll talk about the Mets there. We won't talk about too many teams here today, but we will talk about the Mets. That's one of the teams that are playing here today. All right. Also here, Night Moves winner last night with the Houston Astros as they were able to beat up on Garrett Crochet. Could you believe it there? With the Astros getting the win 6-3. Carlos Correa had a 3-run home run in the 5th inning. The Astros have won 5 in a row after an 0-2 start, and Boston starts the season with a 1-5 road trip. Talk about another team with expectations not looking too good. Talking about the Boston Red Sox there. Guess we didn't need the run line, but wanted to pick up a win there. Astros 6-4 over the Red Sox. Hey, I had a premium pick winner yesterday over at Tony's Picks with the New York Yankees. Who wouldn't? There's the Yankees were able to get the win over the Mariners on the road on getaway day. We did have the Yankees as our premium pick winner over there. Nice win. Goldschmidt 3-run home run, and the Yankees get the win 5-1 over Toronto yesterday. So man, they actually gave 5-3. Actually, that was the story, right? The Yankees gave up 3 runs. Stop the presses here, as their pitching has been out of this world so far, out of the off to the moon, if you will. There, the Yankees pitching so far. Wasn't that was on the with Tony yesterday, right when they were launching that rocket. I watch a few rocket launches. I still, at my age, I'm kind of still into the space race from back in the day. And I was doing the drive through, and the launch was going on. It was terrific to watch. But for people my age, I think we just look back at the space program, and still a little magic is more so when there's someone in the ship. I think that's the key. Let me continue on. Hopefully, find some winners here yesterday on Night Moves here with our coverage. It wasn't the best day in the major leagues, but we did have the Athletics and the Braves game to go under. Did have a winner there on Night Moves, as we saw the Braves do the job there on the Athletics there yesterday, and get a much needed win. It felt like there for the Braves in that one over the Athletics. Drake Baldwin, 4 RBIs for Atlanta, and we did have the under there in that one. Did stay under in the game with a 5. That was the 5-1 victory there. Got my notes a little bit mixed up. Also here, Night Moves victory. Milwaukee Brewers at home gets the win there over Tampa Bay, 8-2. Tampa hot offense come to a little bit of a stop. I'm not down here right now on Tampa's offense, but we were on the Brewers there in that one as our pick yesterday. Make no mistake, we were on the Rays there, getting the win over the Milwaukee Brewers there. Bryce Terang, 2-run home run there in that one, as the Brewers got it done. Brewers over the Rays, and that's what we had here. We also had Night Moves winners in the NHL here last night. We did have first of all, how about the Vancouver Canucks as the $4 underdog there over the Avalanche? Big shocker there, wasn't it? In that one, really, we did not have. But I had one premium pick winner over there. I actually got swept here on the show last night. We did have the Blues. They lost in overtime to my Kings there. But we did have the over in Anaheim and San Jose. San Jose was able to get the key win there, 4-3 for both teams. Key win for San Jose, fighting the playoffs here. But we did have a premium pick winner with the Sharks game to go over there yesterday. Crown basketball tournament, I could not figure out at all. I'm going to have to get back at it here tonight. But did have some success in the NBA last night, including the Philadelphia 76ers. We had them to rock the Wizards there. Yesterday, 8 of the 9 games went over the total just when I started saying I'm starting to back off a little bit, because the scoring had not been through the roof as it was there for a few days. It started to come back down. Well, maybe my timing's a little off, because yesterday 8 of the 9 games go over, and the only one that didn't go over was Denver and Utah, and it finished short by 2.5 points. So take note of that, and we'll see. I mean, there's a couple of games tonight that I like the under still, but I've had to make my adjusted numbers here again, bumping it back up, because that's got to be a league-wide trend. I mean, you don't see every team last night, well into the hundreds there pretty much across the board. Only the Orlando Magic with a clunker performance there with 101, but everybody else was through the roof. So, but we did have the Sixers there over the Wizards. Night Moves winner also. We had the over with Atlanta and Orlando yesterday, 130-111. 130-101. That actually was an under. I'm sorry. So stand corrected. 7 out of 9. We didn't have a winner there. Ended up going to 235.5. So whoops. But anyways, a winner here on the show yesterday with the Memphis Grizzlies over the New York Knicks. Knicks get the win by 11. But we had the Grizzlies on the show here, plus 14 points yesterday there in that one. So, all right. We're going to go over to Tony'sPicks.com and take a look at some of the leaders from yesterday. And I think I was 3-3 here. So let's go over to Tony'sPicks.com and celebrate those guys who did do a good job yesterday and see who we had cleaning up over at Tony'sPicks.com. You can go to Tony'sPicks.com and get our premium picks, absolutely our best picks every day here at Tony's Picks. You know, you see me on some other shows, some other sites, but just know that my best picks start right here every day at Tony's Picks. These are my high-end boutique plays every day. So these are the ones that we're going to step up and step to the window on here. This is where the high rollers start right here over at Tony'sPicks.com. And take a look at who did well yesterday. It was Double Shooty, 3-2 day. He topped the leaderboard. A little short on the board here for everybody. Tom Redcard, 5-4 yesterday. Al Ninos won his only play. Ron Hahn won his only play. Tony T, another winning day. Just cranking right now. One of the best streaks I've seen Tony be on here. It feels like start of the season right now. Shane Mickle, 3-2. Nick Locaretto's 3-2. Bo Dunn, in there in the green. David Racy in the green. And Stax McKelvey, he baited Buck. Let's do it, Justin. Also, over the last 7 days here at Tony's Picks, David Racy, 11.5 units over there. Tony T, look at that, 75% right now, 912 units. There's Nick Logarettos there, 8.25 units of profit. Ron Hahn with a 75% record as well. Double Shooty up nearly 4 2/3 units. Bo Dunn over 3 1/3 units of profit here last 7 days. Shane Mickle up over 2 1/3 units in the last 7 days. Al Ninos, Tom Redcard, Mills Young in the green here at Tony'sPicks.com last 30 days. Shane Mickle up nearly 17 1/3 units of profit. Brian Bittler up over 12 units of profit. Bo Dunn's got you 10.99 up 11 units of profit. Tony T up 8.5 units of profit. Nick Logarettos, Mills Young, Ron Hahn in the green over there last 30 days. At Tony's Picks, you can click on the Premium Picks tab and find everybody locked and loaded here for the action on Thursday. Take a look at the Premium Picks that are loaded up. Tony T, he's got his best bet. You might as well get it. Here, hottest capper on the planet right now. Tony T there is MLB best bet. David Racy's got his Thursday afternoon winner there. Double Shooty's got his best bet going for Major League Baseball. Al's got his Thursday Grand Slam going. You can ride with me here for a 3-day all sports premium pass. We'll get you through to the weekend. Join me Thursday, Friday, Saturday through the Final Four, and then we'll get you back on board for the rest of the week with the Final Four on Monday. Looking forward to this weekend's college basketball games. There's also UFC here at the Apex in Las Vegas. And, I'll have a package of plays there for this card this week as a featured event here with lightweights, Renato Moicano going up against Chris Duncan here. Moicano was supposed to be at UFC 326, but I think his opponent backed out, so he gets rewarded here with a little main event action on Saturday night. Join us over at Tony'sPicks.com. Use that promo code Tony T at checkout. Save 15% off all premium pick packages, including mine here on Thursday. And let's see who else has got some packages locked and loaded. Shane Mickle's got a Thursday night sampler, one in each sport. I went that route and was able to pick up some winners there late night. Also, Chris Atkins, best bet NBA slam dunk in there as well. And I think everyone's ready to go, and I'm ready to go. Joey's got an NHL slap shot in there for Thursday. All right, thanks for listening to that. And hey, join me over at Tony'sPicks.com here for the action on Thursday. Let me say hello to my friends, the chat pros in the chat, are going to guide us along here with our card on Thursday. It's a unique, interesting card, that's for sure, here with action in the different sports, including that college basketball there, in a short MLB card with the one rain out. So let's get over and say hello. We got a few more people in here right now, nearly 20 of you, so I think we can get ready to start the previews. Here's Andrew, ready to go. Here, yeah. Last thing I remember about, I was watching the Spurs game in there, and maybe needed to, it wasn't a big deal, but maybe I maybe just closed my eyes there, but the Spurs were able to get a cover there by 1 point in that game. But another one where I had too many unders yesterday. It is what it is, right? And I even said on the show, man, what happened? I was going over in some games there. All right, let's see here. First game, Twins and Royals. Oh man, look at Andrew turning back the clock there with some of the pitchers here. He's got Frank Viola pitching. I remember when the maybe you don't remember, but most of my crew, I think, in here does, when baseball had a strike. The players went on strike and they did a fake broadcast from the stands, and of course the Padres beat the Dodgers. So when I was listening, with Jerry Coleman and Dave Campbell. All right, yeah, Yanks have some decent arms. Larry Martin, hello. Just great to have you here. I'm live on the big screen in Larry's house. Anybody out here with me in Larry's house here joining us, or is it just me and Larry? Cal Dog's here and ready to go today. And Sacramento Kings. Look, did anybody play the Tankathon parlay there with the Philadelphia 76ers, the Houston Rockets, the Toronto Raptors were the team that blew it? It didn't get it home there yesterday. Fish Den said the unders were troublesome in baseball. I did not have a great day on this show, so hopefully you guys did. Okay, Mr. Weskers is here. Andrew's here. I don't know. I think who we got. How many we got on that roster now? We were looking at it there, right, Andrew? Looks like about maybe 16 right now. Is there? No, there's got to be a few more than that. Is there 18 right now? Okay. Okay. I think we said hello to everyone in the chat pros. So, guess we got to get ready and start the show here. We've talked about mostly about all the headlines. There were some other interesting games certainly there in the major leagues yesterday, and some games I didn't cover because I just didn't have any winners. But the Phillies rallied for that win over Washington with Harper, JT Realmuto hitting those home runs there. O'Neal Cruz made up for more bad defense with a 3-run home run, 4 homers in 3 days. So, hey, you can't play defense. You might want to stick this guy in the designated hitter role there. O's bombed Eovaldi there at home yesterday. How about Sandy Alcantara? You've got to think there was just something to his his coming back, and maybe the rehab of it, and maybe he took it easier, but there was no doubt he was awesome today. And if this is what we get, is Sandy back? Is Sandy back right now? He had a great comment at the end of the game. He said, all my family was here, so I love that, but none of the fans were here, but we still love them. They had 6,000 fans announced, under 7,000. Let's put it that way, under 7,000 in Miami. That's got to be a painful experience there, actually. Corby Carroll home run over Skubal in a 1-0 win. That was the only run there in that game. And KC exploded for 7 runs in the 6th inning and beat the Twins 13-9. All right. And we did see also tonight, there's been some weird things going on, right, with ABS and some of the other things. But we did see the first game tonight ever decided with ABS there. They had to go to replay there at the end of the game, and the ABS did overturn the game in the Orioles-Rangers. I mean, it wasn't going to decide the game, but it was the first Major League game that ended on a called third strike via replay review. There also, Albert Juarez got his first save in 9 years in that game. That was real interesting. But man, I'm just talking about Sandy Alcantara here, and is he back, right? And also, then MLB investigating how an umpire crew could lose track of the ball strike count. The missed strike 3 call there, and the batter stayed in the game over the weekend. I don't know if you guys caught that story, but ESPN had a story about the ABS system and which players are doing well. there, and the umpires are still at 93.5% calling balls and strikes. But this is what you want. This is the way to go. I'm sorry, Buckner can't call, and he's been missing calls for years. So, yeah, the fans are taking some joy in humiliating the umpires. The umpires are feeling a little bit down on themselves right now. But this is going to be the really good in the end. It's going to actually, we'll see, but I think it's going to help pitchers, right? Because pitchers throw more pitchers than batters take. I know it works out in the end. A pitcher only goes out there once every 5 games, but he also knows each umpire, and then it seems to me like the pitcher has a better idea of what the electronic zone might look like as he delivers rather than the batter. I don't know. That one might be a stretch there. Okay, let's get to the previews. Nobody cares about what I think. Let's see here. Soundman's here. He says weak betting card, and NHL has got to be the place today, right? We're going to go hard the NHL here tonight. And all right, let's get going. We got a great. Just real quick. Last night in the college basketball crown. I hope I can get these NIT games right here, because Oklahoma didn't matter without all those players. They only won by 3 over Colorado in overtime. Colorado led by 10 late in the first half, but Oklahoma led by 7 with 1:51 left, and they were to hold on behind Nigel Pack 20 points. And then in the nightcap, Baylor beat Minnesota 67-48. As the Bears held Minnesota 22 points in the second half, Baylor dominated on the boards. Gophers shot just 3 for 23 from 3 and 7 of 15 from the foul line. So only guy worse than that was me on that college basketball crown. But they're going to be back at it tonight here in Vegas, and there's also NIT action as well. All right, here we go. We're going to start, of course, in Major League Baseball, but only 3 games here today in the Major League. So let's start it off here. We got the Twins taking on the Royals here. Taj Bradley goes for the Twins. Cole Reagans here for the Royals, and the Royals are favored $1.55, and the total here 9/20. Taj Bradley, pretty good in that first start, 2.07 ERA. Reagans comes in here with a 9 ERA, but the Royals are streaking here all of a sudden with 3 straight wins, beating Minnesota in the first 2 games of this series. So Minnesota looking to get out of here with a victory with Bradley here in this one. Meanwhile, the Twins have lost 3 straight, of course, the 2 here, and then lost to Baltimore in the last game of that series. So, can Minnesota get out of here with a win with Bradley over Reagans? But now, it was a big score yesterday, 13-9. There definitely still is a long-term trend of Kansas City home games in division is pretty much a mad under forever. But let's see how you guys have it here with this one with Kansas City taking on the Twins here. The Twins coming in 1-4 overall. Kansas City's 3-2. Kansas City 1-4 to the under so far this season. Twins are 1-3 to the under as an underdog. Obviously, we had that high score, and I felt like that was a good play. Remember, I was like, this feels like my play of the day right here. But there were a lot of runs there in that game. Now, Cole Reagans did struggle in his first start. Minnesota's lineup is vulnerable to left-handed pitching, but it ends up being maybe a low-scoring game. Casey's bullpen, 6.75 ERA, but Bradley going out here with the first start looked pretty good. So also, I think, let me check the weather. Are you guys talking about it in there? Obviously, we had the one rain out in Chicago. They're not going to fool around there. And not going to fool around there and try to run the game out there when they can just wait 24 hours and get the game going there right now. So let's see what you have here with Kansas City. Still, I mean, Kansas City's got a top 10 lineup, and they were able to prove it there yesterday. They are hitting well, so still $1.55 here, and feels like most of these teams still go under when you're talking about um, these Royals division home games. The Twins offense, they're not. We'll see how they can do. I mean, I don't mind what's going on there. After seeing them at least score 9 runs yesterday, they were pretty dismal, before that, but they did have a pretty good day there, and you got Martin looking good. Uh, Buxton maybe starting to pick it up here a little bit. Caratini, but let's see what you got in the chat. For this one, okay, Fishton's taking the Braves today, but we're talking Twins and Royals right now. And maybe Cal Dog's on the under here. Timmy's going to take Minnesota. It is kind of a big price. I mean, that's the thing that, is kind of making me think that I might have to take Minnesota here, especially Reagan's didn't look that good in that first start. And Larry says maybe under because it was so high yesterday. The pitching might be a little bit better here. Kind of like the bats for Kansas City. I don't mind the bats here for Minnesota, but I'm kind of enamored with the fact that this is always kind of an under situation in Kansas City. The weather is going to be the difference maker. I'm showing it to, wind is massive blowing out here, 20 miles an hour here in this one, blowing out. So look, the ball was taken off there yesterday as well. Okay, Mr. Wesker's Twins money line. Damon's on the Twins. Yeah, Fishton's got it right. I mean, and you saw what was going on there yesterday with all the offense. So, like I said, these Royals games always go under, but man, the underlying factors here more so than the trends, I think it feels like in this one. Hey, Ron Jeff's here. Thank you. He likes the under in this one. And so does Red Wings. And Andrew Stirrup here today. He says, should we take the Twins on the line? Oh, maybe the run line. I think it's a little high, though. Let me take a look at that. Maybe Twins run line might be the right play here. Minus $1.45. Since the Royals are, maybe that's the call. I'm going to do it. That's a great suggestion. I've got a newcomer in here. I don't know. I think we've had Andrew Stirrup before. I'm pretty sure we have, but he doesn't pop in all the time. And maybe I think, make sure I'm reading it right. Should we take the Twins on the line? I think Fish Den. Look, I mean, there had to be a reason why all those. Like I said, I get entrenched in these trends. You know me, and but you can't ignore that what the offense was doing yesterday and the the heavy winds here, no doubt about it. Now it is going to get a little bit lighter as the day goes along, but there's no doubt this is seems like it's pointing straight out. I'm just going to take the Twins here on the Night Move show in this one. On the run line, minus $1.45. Damon says the Twins is the play, and Timmy's like, I'll play the over with that wind. So, wow, that is pretty wild there. It is going to be warm too, 73 degrees, 70. And, it gets colder here as the day goes along. We're in a day game here, but and we're talking about Bradley and Reagan's after all. Yeah, you know what? You do expect more from. Actually, Reagan's has been pretty fine over the last couple seasons, right? And Bradley has his moments too, but feels like just your typical Central debate. Like I said, it would usually be an under for me, but I kind of start to agree with the sentiment here. I'll give me the Twins in this one on the run line for now, but yeah, I'm starting to switch over the run, the over after what we saw yesterday, and given the conditions here on Thursday. All right, let's keep it going here right now, and our next game up is The Braves are at the Diamondbacks here. The Braves $1.25 to 7 over 20 with Lopez going here for Lopez, 1.5 ERA after his first start, 0.83 whip, 3 strikeouts in his first game. Braves here coming in off of a win yesterday. They were able to get the victory there 5-1 over the A's to close out that series. They took 2 of 3 in the series. They're 4-2 overall right now. Arizona 3-3, but 3-0 at home. This is the Braves' first road game. Arizona is 1-3 as an underdog, however, but still undefeated at home, and do have Ryan Nelson going here for the Diamondbacks, 7.71 ERA in that first start, 107 whip, 4 strikeouts in that first start. And you do have the Diamondbacks here coming in with 3 straight wins with the sweep over the Tigers, including the 1-0 win there on Wednesday. So good run here. Good job by Arizona right now. And hey, they are an underdog here. The Braves aren't. Good job for the Braves, I think, here to be 4-2, right? If anything, that's what it kind of feels like right now. We always expect them to compete. Atlanta's bullpen's really been the story. 1.27 ERA, 0.75 whip so far. Ryan Nelson struggled, obviously, in his debut. The Braves' offense, to me, looks kind of balanced so far. If you look at these guys, I mean, okay, Acuna, slow start, but Baldwin, we talked about him so far. He's smacking the ball, 3 home runs so far this season. Matty Olson might be starting to pick it up. Yeah, this has been a real great role right now for Yaz, and he's been scoring runs. So Albie's starting to go here right now. Michael Harris, Smith also, Dubon. The bottom of the lineup's been good all the way through. So both starters, decent strikeout rates, but early season, maybe caution here. Nelson's high walks could kind of keep the runs there. Man, I'm going to take the Braves in this one. Give me the Braves here over the Diamondbacks. Good run there, but I'm going to try and trust here the Braves in this offense a little bit. I'm not saying the Tiger. I mean, they should have been better. Good for Arizona there, but give me Atlanta here in this one. It might come down to that bullpen here. Maybe Arizona a little bit of a dog, but you got 2 top 10 lineups here for sure. Let me go to the chat here. I'll get carried away there. Okay. Mr. Weskers was going to go Braves run line here even. Cal Dog's on the Braves. Larry says Braves versus Arizona, high score in hot weather. As Tony pointed out, the Diamondbacks, he encouraged us to make sure we check with the website, but, Arizona kind of running with the roof open as long as we're in the spring here a little bit, and the temperature is not overwhelming there in Arizona. So kind of interesting what he was saying there, and Larry's saying it right there, high score in hot weather. And thank you to Larry for reminding me of that. And Timmy says, yeah, but Nelson at home. Cal Dog's got the over here. Fish Den is taking Atlanta run line. Says, yeah, but Nelson was against the Dodgers, so you got to give that. And Soundman said you're already sending East Coast teams out there to the West Coast. That was always kind of the argument, but it's weird, right? I mean, we try to keep that away. That's what really the league is striving for. Everybody kind of says, why don't we play all the games out west, when the weather is poor in the east, and get away from those northwest cities where it still could be bad, and don't waste our opportunity to put the games in. But it also is a stress on the east teams early. Sound man knows what I'm talking about there. Yeah. Over here for Timmy. Red Wings says Atlanta here. And yeah, that's what they're saying. That's what Tony's been saying. He says, the roof's been open here a little bit uh, uh, with the games here in Arizona so far. So, okay, I'm taking Atlanta though right now. Look, I think the difference here for Atlanta is going to be Acuna and Riley, and maybe Dubon as well. Just roll with the splits here against Ryan Nelson. If Ryan Nelson is on his game, that should be fine. But Lopez should be able to outduel him. There's nobody really in the Arizona lineup with an overwhelming matchup against Lopez. Like I said, we are dealing with two, you know, pretty strong offenses here so far. Arizona so far, Carroll, Moreno really hot. Fernandez has been really something so far. We'll see if he can work his way in this lineup. And Lawler also interesting there for Arizona. Okay, let's do one more here. One more game in the major leagues coming up here tonight. It's going to be. Oh, let me fix this graphic. I don't know what happened here, but it's on the wrong. Okay, there we go. And we've already seen you guys commenting a little bit on this one with the Mets taking on the Giants here tonight in San Francisco with David Peterson going here for the Mets. No earned runs in that first start, 1.5 whip, 3 strikeouts, but no record to show so far for Robbie Ray here. 3.37 ERA, did lose his first start. Right now, both teams Atlanta's San Francisco's won 2 of 3 coming in. They beat the Padres, of course, but the Padres get the win there last night, 7-1. Picked up a victory there finally. But for the Mets here, they lost those last 2 games to St. Louis, and they are not producing runs right now, and this lineup is struggling. All these guys, only guy doing anything is Soto. And Luis Robert as well. Vientos okay as well. And Alvarez too. But then these other guys, Bo Bichette really letting everything down there. It's been tough so far with that money falling all out of his pockets here so far. Jorge Polanco, not so great. Semien not getting it done right now. And Frankie Lindor also. He's scoring runs, but not enough here, it seems like right now. So some trouble here with the Mets right now with their clutch hitting, runners in scoring position. Really struggling here right now to push across any runs. They should be way better. And, this lineup, I'm still going to keep this lineup in the top 3 here. I mean, there's no excuse. There's no excuse. As much money as these guys are getting paid, they should be coming on and be much stronger. So maybe they can have some success here against Robbie Ray. I mean, the Mets are favored here. There's still some guys in this San Francisco lineup that can do some damage too against a guy like Peterson, Adames, Ramos, Chapman, Bader, all in pretty good position there. My man Casey Schmidt had a tough day there defensively. In fact, kind of embarrassing there as Chapman was kind of giving Schmidt the business. You could read his lips there. He said, catch the effing ball. And Schmidt was having trouble defensively, no doubt about it, but I thought that was pretty rude. Everybody knows Chapman's kind of he's not cool sometimes. I want to call him, I might be on another show later. I might call him something else. But, Chapman, not a good leader there in San Francisco's got their own set of issues here right now, but give him some credit here. Still, the Mets are 3-3. The Giants are 2-4 coming in right now, and Giants 0-3 at home here. Mets 1-5 to the under so far, 1-3-2 to the under for the Giants so far. So let's see what you have here in this one. I don't want to get too down on these guys. The Giants here at home, they have a solid bullpen, of course, 1.93 ERA already, and it looks like this is the way it's going to be this year. Peterson, we'll see how he Bears here on the road, but the Mets very inconsistent. I just can't harp on it enough. Uh, with the Mets and this non-clutch hitting here right now. I think Peterson versus Ray, a couple left-handers, kind of suggests maybe it could be a low-scoring game. These teams are not producing a lot of runs here right now. We're in San Francisco. It's only 7 here, so also these guys do have some potential for some strikeouts here in this one. So the Mets against left-handers here just really bad. Give me I need a total here. Give me the under in this one for sure. The Mets and the Giants under 7 runs in this one. See what you guys have in the chat. And okay, here we go. Look, there's some guys that could, knock it around here, but maybe just should get a couple solo homers or something. Giants run line here with the under. It can go either way, says Larry. Damon's on the Mets. Jimmy likes the under with me here. Mr. Wesker says no more confidence in the Mets, and when the Giants bats warm up, the Giants went cold. He expects them to stay cold again. Mets run line for Mr. Weskers. Fish Den says it'll be cooler in San Francisco, and he likes the bats to be a little bit stiff here. Wind blowing out to center, 8 to 10 miles an hour, and the temperature in the high 50s. Or 2 Mets maybe here, says Timmy. Red Wings here, New York Mets on the run line. And no doubt, Mr. Weskers, he's bouncing them. You're right. You just expect, I think Schmidt, he's a kind of guy out of position a little bit too. Let's see here. Oh, could be some rain. I didn't know that, Fish Den. I thought it was going to be clear. Sound man on the Mets. Peterson is a good pitcher. Good thing the Mets are getting some pitch. They need the pitching right now. Cal Dog on the Giants. That's it for you guys. That's it for Major League Baseball. There, just 3 games. All right, we better go to the NBA next. We've got 6 games. I think they're all in play here. And before you know it, we'll be into the postseason. It's got some good games here tonight, much better than yesterday's. I'm just got to take my lumps. I mean, I've tried to bet every game here on the show. And, too many tankathon games where it just didn't go my way. My only premium at Tony's lost when I took the Rockets, tried to lay 17.5. Okay, let's keep it moving here right now. Let's get going with the NBA card here, 6-game card for Thursday. Good game here, Phoenix and Charlotte to start us off. I think it's a good game. I mean, obviously you got 2 teams headed for the tournament here, for the play-in tournament. And obviously the Hornets have been so good down the stretch here. And Phoenix, look, I continue to be impressed, I think, by Phoenix. Everybody wanted to cast them off. But hey, I stuck with them. And I think I've been rewarded here a little bit. Yeah, they haven't been all perfect here, but, they've won enough and covered enough of them, it seems like, right now. Phoenix has won 2 of their last 3 games coming in here with wins over Utah and Memphis. They did lose to Orlando the other night, 115 to 111, getting 2.5. They almost got the money. It was close. But usually they, come pretty close to getting the money, actually. They're 23-14 against the spread on the road, 23-17 against the spread as an underdog. However, Charlotte, one of the best home favorites in the league, 24-14 against the spread at home, 20-12 against the spread as a favorite. These are 2 teams that definitely know how to cover the spread. Phoenix is 6-2-1 against the spread versus Charlotte in the last 9 meetings, and 4-1 against the spread in the last 5 games. Charlotte 5-5 ATS, so in their last 10, I think right now maybe 6-4. One of them landed pretty close here. Now Charlotte is 12-26 to the under at home. Now every game just went over yesterday. I might look like a fool here picking this one to go under, but I do believe that when you have you look at the matchups yesterday, they were all pretty much, kind of tankathon games, or you had borderline playoff teams that aren't, kind of like the Warriors, right? They're not very good. They're going to the postseason there a little bit. Um, I'm going to go under in this one. I might end up with egg on my face after what happened last night, but I do think when you get two teams that are playing for something, they're not desperate here, that's for sure. Like I said, they're in, but you do want to improve your position. And you have the Suns here currently in seventh. They're relatively stable here. Um, Probably going to come in seventh. Meanwhile, for the Hornets, they are in 10th and they need to move up somehow, some way. They're tied with the Heat right now, and they're still trying to catch the Magic by just a half a game. So I'm taking the under in this one. The Hornets go under at home here, even with what happened last night. Kind of embarrassed to lead off with this under right now, but I'm going to do it. Charlotte's last 6 games have all gone under, and 4 of the last 6 meetings with Phoenix have gone under. That doesn't mean much in a non-conference series, but I think this one has a chance of being a little bit more defensive here, and I think it's actually a little higher than the number on the screen. It is up to 222. It's up to 222, maybe 221.5, but it's definitely a little bit higher. So the move is on the over. You know what? The move might be on the over in every game by the time it gets over with. I don't feel bad if everybody goes over in the chat in every game after what we saw last night. Okay. Let's see here. Anything from the crew in this one? Suns beat Memphis at home as an outright dog, says Mr. Westers. I meant Charlotte. Okay. Cal Dogs on the Hornets. Larry, Suns money line. And Suns here. Look, I've been loving the Suns. This one is kind of tough. I'm taking the under. I might be waiting on this one, though. Yeah, there's Timmy said there. I like the under too. Like I said, every game went way over, and there's, it's not some fluke. I mean, we're in the end of the season. Every game's a 15-point spread in a lot of these. They say blowouts are usually unders, but usually that means it's under when it's a good team beating a bad team. You look at for example, look at the Pacers and the Bulls yesterday. That's a perfect example of a game where you got two bad teams, so it's going to go haywire, and nobody's going to stop anybody. The Pacers scored 145 points in the game. Suns and Hornets are under team, says Timmy Two Shoes. Suns here for Andrew. And that's it from the chat. Timberwolves taking on the Pistons here, NBA action for Thursday. Pistons here at home. They've won 3 of 4. Minnesota's won 3 of 4. Is Minnesota, did they lose their TV regional? I mean, I haven't seen these guys in weeks, it seems like. Are they even playing these games, Minnesota? I guess so. They've won 3 of 4, beating Boston, Houston, and Dallas. They did lose to who? Detroit, just a couple of games ago, 5 days ago, I think, here at home, 109-87 in their first meeting of the season. So it was a blowout there for the Pistons in Minnesota. Will that fire up Minnesota to come right back on them and turn the tables here, getting just 2.5 points in this one? Sorry about that, guys. Now, this is another one I kind of want to go under, believe it or not, with these two here. I mean, Minnesota's been an under team this season. So has Detroit. Detroit as a favorite is kind of an under team. Now, Minnesota on the road does go over. And I promise you, I'm not going to go under in any other games if I take the under here in this one. I've adjusted my numbers, so I don't think, it might still be a little bit short. I don't want to overcompensate for what happened yesterday, But you do have the Pistons right now. Don't forget they've already won their division championship. They're probably going to, they're 4 games ahead of the Celtics right now. I'm not saying they don't have much to play for here. It seems like they're still pretty fired up to play well here. So, okay, let's see. I'm going to go to the chat, though, I think, in this one. And I might need to talk off a ledge, much less an under. Here, Detroit does dominate this series, 7-1 here recently in Minnesota, just 1-6 at ATS. Again, was 1-6 ATS against Detroit. So home court maybe favors the Pistons here right now. Detroit also has been kind of pushing the total up, but this Minnesota recent under streak might be enough here to keep it under for me, I think. Let me see what the chat has to say. Man, am I going to really start with 2 unders here after I just gave this whole diatribe about the overs? Okay, here we go. Rob says, who do you like for MLB tonight? Oh, Rob, I just did a whole segment on all 3 games. Here, I got a lot of people watching while we're on basketball. Oh, man. Oh, Rob, I want to, especially with your avatar there. Oh, man. Okay. Let me see here. Wolves money line for Mr. Weskers. Larry says Pistons versus Wolves. He wants over in this one. Andrew says, who's the winner on the line? You mean like who's the best free throw shooting team of these 2 teams? They both are terrible. They both are I'm pretty sure they're both in the bottom 5 teams in the league in free throw shooting, or maybe in bottom 6 or 7. Jimmy Chushu says he'll take the Wolves right now because of Ant. There, yeah. Don't forget, both stars are missing this game. It's probably burying the lead there a little bit. Don't want to take it for granted that we know that, but at this point, no timetable return for either of them. Jaden McDaniels is out for Minnesota here. Marcus Sasser questionable for Detroit. Oh boy, I'm taking the under here in this one. I can't believe it. If these games go over, then I'm just not taking into consideration that all these games are going over. Cal Dog's going over, but Andrew's going under. Damon's going T-Wolves and under. So maybe I'm not crazy. Under's back on the menu, says Mr. Weskers. It is the Underburger, the underdog. Oh, just who wins the game? Who wins the game? I'm taking a total, Andrew, in this one. The Wolves could go over. The Wolves have gone over without Ant in the lineup. Yeah, they've gone under in 7 of their last 10 here, I believe, right now. All right, I'm just going under there. Yeah, I do. I've got the Stars out of this game again here right now, and no rhyme or reason as to win. Edwards actually questionable, so you know what? I will give you that. Maybe he does make this lineup a little bit. That I don't know if that would swing. Minnesota's the crazy thing about Detroit is how well they played without Cunningham. I think that just goes to show how good they actually are and lead the East. Okay, let me keep it moving here. We got some great games. How about the Lakers and the Thunder here? I mean, we're treating the Lakers like they're on a back-to-back or something here in this one, getting 9 points. Lakers did beat Cleveland 127-113 for their 4th straight win. It does feel like the air is going to be left out of the bag sometime, and the Lakers might lose one here. But they really just the winning streak's nice, but they really just played their 2 best games. They crushed Washington and did crush Cleveland. Those games were at home, but the Lakers keep on getting it done. Meanwhile, for Oklahoma City, they keep winning but can't cover the spread ever right now. Thunder are 15-1 in their last 16 games, but are a very dismal 4-11, I believe, or 5-11, 4-12, right in there against the spread during this stretch. Bizarrely enough, they never are covering these games right now. And here you can get the Lakers here with the 9 points. Now it is a little bit, yeah, Thunder here currently playing for top seed, of course. Like I said, the Spurs are coming on hot with that 10-game winning streak, but the Thunder are back up to a 3-game winning streak, so they're probably going to be able to hold them off. I didn't mean to give the Spurs a Western Conference title there a few moments ago, but after seeing Wemby there last night in that game, right, he was incredible against the Warriors there. But anyway, here Lakers has dogs. This hot streak right now is pretty good for the Lakers here. Maybe it doesn't sustain on the road against the elite team. Maybe they'll be put in their place tonight. But I'm probably going to take the over here in this one. I'm taking over this game here right now, and mostly after what we saw. And the Lakers are a game and a half ahead of the Nuggets right now for third place. They're just trying to hold off the Nuggets here. They're not going to move up. They are trying to stay in third place here right now. Give me the over here in this one with the Lakers and the Thunder. I've got this as one of those overs here. I don't think, let's see, last game did go over, but the total was 222 in that one. Look, this one's at 229 there. They did play a 229 back in November, and it went under 121-92. The Thunder have won both games here in this season series so far, laying right around this type of number. So I'm going to go with the over in this one. Here we go with some of the picks. It's going to be Lakers here and over for Larry. Timmy's on the Lakers. Cal Dog's going Thunder. Timmy going Lakers first half. Luca over in his points, and Fish Den says go under the total. And Timmy says I see it circus. I'm going for circus night. And Luca, maybe his last challenge here for. He's an outsider for the MVP, but, gets to face off against SGA anyway. And or could it be Wemby? Great call there, Andrew. Luka is going to have to carry him every time, Mr. Weskers, and that's why, they're not going to quite get over the top. Just don't have quite enough here. But for the Lakers to come in third place this season, I think that is I think they've had a great season here. People tried to bury them so many times, it felt like. Okay, let's see here. Also, Lakers, maybe that's a big number. And Luca's props under for Ron Jeff here. And Mr. Westford says the Lakers do kind of, I think that's what's going to happen here. That's why I'm on the over, actually. It might, in fact, that may help the Lakers to be a high-scoring game here, actually, especially getting all these points. They'll probably just lose track because I don't know. I don't know if the Thunder can necessarily get a blowout. The Lakers are playing hard enough every time. So, okay, that's it for that one. Let's keep moving here. We've got playoff caliber teams going here tonight. This is a lot better than last night. It's a big spread here, but the Cavaliers are on the road here, laying 10.5 points to Golden State. Now, Golden State did just lose again, and like we said, they're in the postseason. They're not gonna, they can't blow this from this point. They're gonna be in the play-in, but they're probably gonna be the number 10 seed. So, number 10 seeds, like we said, are 1-9 to advance into the actual playoffs, and I don't feel like it's going to be Golden State this time around. They'll probably be the quickest of exits, but the Cavaliers, they are the worst team covering the spread in the whole league. It seems like 21-40 against the spread as a favorite here for a 35% cover rate for Cleveland this season against the spread as a favorite. Now, Golden State isn't much better. 12 and 17 against the spread as an underdog, 16 and 21 against the spread at home. But now the Cavaliers are also failing to cover here of late, just 3 and 7 against the spread in their last 10. Yeah, they're the favorites. Golden State's been inconsistent as well, 2 and 6 ATS in the last 10. But maybe here with Golden State at the home court, um, I don't want to make it that simple. So I'll probably go the totals route here in this one. Now, historically, these two teams have gone under, but Golden State is 24 and 13 to the over at home, and Cleveland's 22 and 16 to the over on the road. So I'm taking totals here all day long. Here, trying to convince myself I still know what I'm doing here. I'm supposed to be sharp on these totals. And really mad about yesterday because I've been talking about it. We've been going over in way more games than I usually do at the, just because of what's going on here at the end of the season. And then and then a few unders start to come in, and I don't hit them all. Or don't hit them all. You know what I mean? Don't have a great day on the totals, and then it goes haywire like this again. I'm going to go over here in this one with the Cavs and the Warriors. Let's see what you got here in the chat. Timmy says the total isn't moving, but under's taking the money. And Timmy says he'll take Golden State here. It's a tarp. Timmy says the Cavs ain't covering this. Yeah, right? I mean, okay, let's see here. Larry says the Cavs will win. Sees a blowout by the Warriors. Cavs will win. I see blowout by Warriors playing back to back. Let me see if I'm reading that right. With playing the Spurs last night, Cavs. He's got the Cavs to blow it out because of the Spurs playing the back to back. Basically, my approach to that was the Warriors have lost 2 straight. Now, obviously, fatigue is a real thing, but the Cavs are also on the road here. At this point, third game of the road trip. They failed to cover them both. The Warriors, it may be a situation where I say they need it just because they, want to stay out of the last spot or two, but that they could have the motivation. Now, look, they could be realistic and say, look, we're going to come in 10th, and there's nothing we can do about it. So. Okay, let's see here. Cavs are terrible favorites, says Timmy. Fishden says Golden State. Yeah, you know what? I think getting out of that would be more important. I think Curry is sitting. I think his injury actually is probably worse than we think. It might be. They keep dragging it out there a little bit. But, they could have moved up there possibly. So that has been a little bit bizarre. Timmy says maybe Golden State can even win the game. Okay, I'm taking the over in that one. Man, I'm on all these totals here today. Here we go. 2 more. We got a playoff-bound team here in Portland and New Orleans that has gotten back to losing there a little bit. Now, they're not failing to cover on all the games, but all of a sudden the last 3 they have. So Pelicans had a nice little run there, but now they've lost 5 straight games. And Portland actually is playing pretty inspired here now. I don't know if they're going to be able to get to 8th place, but they do trail the Clippers by just a half a game. And 8th place is a huge difference from 9th place. We've talked about the different places to finish all season long and what's better and what's worse. But that's one of the key ones. That and the 4-5, also the 8-9, because like we said, the 9 spot you're 3 and 7 to advance. The 8 spot you're 6 and 4. So big difference there. Now let's see what you have here though with New Orleans taking on the Blazers, and the Blazers favored by 7. It's almost tankathon territory here. Back to the line to me feels a little bit short. I mean, the Pelicans aren't doing much of anything here of late. Now, long term, they are a good cover this season, 42 and 33, but they are just 30 and 30 ATS as a dog here right now. no short-term injuries here. Krejci's out for Portland. Jeremy Grant's out for Portland. That's not great, but Murphy questionable here. McGowan's is out for New Orleans, and Matkovich is questionable. So uh, still got to cover a number. You make it seem like just 6.5 or 7. They still have to get there somehow. And New Orleans did have a little bit of a run on covering there for a while, but Portland's actually played very, very well here. Only the Dallas game when they lost here recently. Other than that, it's all wins and covers, albeit they're playing bad teams. But you could put the Pelicans in that bad team category, I think. I'm going to go ahead and try the Blazers here in this one. It's probably just a tad high, maybe a point and a half. But I think more of a chance here for the Blazers to get this blowout. They're covering games here as big favorites. Covered against Washington, laying 16.5. Covered against Milwaukee, laying 15.5. Covered against Brooklyn, laying 15.5. And well, maybe this isn't 15, but they did beat the Clippers there too on the road. That was pretty good, and that was an important game because remember, it's basically the Clippers and the Trailblazers that are battling there for the 8-9. So I'm going to take the Blazers here to cover this. Let's see what the chat has to say. Blazers here for Larry. And Andrew says, Jaylen Brown should be a consideration. Fishden loves the Pelicans, though, in this one. Jimmy likes the over. And Jimmy says also the total's moved up here to 232.5. Oh, boy. Let me fix that. I'll go to whoops. Thank you. Okay. Well, let me tell you what. I mean, I better go bet on that soon. Maybe I picked maybe I should have went with the total here, but we went so many totals. I do like Portland here, so let me go Portland. But that total's already on the move higher, and you know what's going to happen here, I think, with these two, with that total. Now, the Pelicans do have a little bit of an under trend, that's for sure. Right now, 3-7 of the under in their last 10 coming in, but Portland 24-11 of the over is a favorite, and 24-14 of the over at home. So usually when a home favorite here, that usually goes over in that situation. And Portland's a 4-1 ATS in their last 5. Pelicans 1-4 ATS, struggling straight up, obviously. So, okay, let's go one more here. NBA. We got college basketball next, huh? Okay, now overs are back on the menu over here. And Sumu there, some $4 underdog in rebounds. All right, last up. Spurs on the road at the Clippers here now. So the Spurs on the back-to-back, following the game against Golden State here. The Clippers come in rested, but they did lose last time out to Portland. And the Clippers actually have been trending down a little bit. Yeah, they were on a winning streak before that, but we're also not covering a few of the games there. For San Antonio here, though, big-time winning streak, as we said, 10 games here, although they failed to cover in the last 2, but they were favored by 16 and 15. In fact, you look at these last 4 games, they've been basically laying an average of 17.5 points per game right now are the Spurs, and here they're only favored by 4.5 against the Clippers team that like I said, you want to come in 8th place if you can. They're not going to probably catch the Suns, so they are motivated here. So are the Spurs. Spurs are still trying to catch the Thunder right now, and a modest little number here at 4.5. And they're playing well, but on the back-to-back there following the win at Golden State. What possibly could happen here? Teams played just a couple of weeks ago, and it was 119-115. Spurs won, did not cover. Spurs also won a couple weeks earlier, 116-112, laying 7. They didn't cover in that one. So the Clippers have covered them both here this year, even though the Spurs have won both games, and now the Clippers are a little bit of a home dog here. Let's see what you guys think, though, in the chat with this one. Spurs have also won 7 straight on the road. Clippers are inconsistent against the spread for sure right now, but Spurs are kind of pushing the pace, and the Clippers are showing more home scoring ability since they dealt James Harden here, and we may get another high scoring game with this one. The Spurs are kind of an under team all season long, but all of a sudden the Clippers here as a dog have been kind of going over a little bit. So let's see what you have in this one. We'll go to the chat. I don't know if it was basically a fatigue game there for the Spurs. I mean, they kind of got the cover there last night. It was a 13-point spread when it opened, and then closed 14.5 and fell 14. So early Spurs bettors win, late Spurs bettors lose, vice versa for the Warriors bettors. Early Warriors bettors lose, late Warriors bettors win last night in that game. Very close to the number. Okay, let's see what you got, though, here. What do we got? Spurs for Larry. That's going to start it off. Mr. Wester's is already tired of these Spurs right now. And Timmy says, look, this thing's moving in the Clippers direction, actually. Down to 3.5 here. Okay, I hear you. Let me do the updating here right now. Some books have don't have this game yet, but let me move it down here to 3.5. Although I do see a lot of 4s as well here. Let me just call it. I'm going to call it 4. I want to take the Clippers, so I probably shouldn't cheat too much here, but I'm only seeing 4s myself here in Las Vegas anyway. So, oops, where'd it go, though? I think I tried to. There we go. I'm going to take the Clippers here +4 against the Spurs. Clippers do play them well, no doubt about it. They hung in there, got the money in both games at San Antonio. I think back here at home, where the Clippers did win last year in a late season meeting, almost a year to the day, 122 to 117. The Clippers were favored by 17. They were favored by 13 in that one, though. They also won at the Spurs. Here, Clippers have basically covered 3 of the last 4, and the one they didn't cover, they were big favorites and still won by 5. That was the Spurs. A little bit different last year down the stretch for the Spurs than this year, for sure. Okay, I'm taking the Clippers, though, here +4. All right. And, yeah, should consider the injury report here in this one, but I think everything is relatively clear, actually. We'll see Garland here on a little prop. All right. Let's go to college ball here. I think I'm going to go in chronological order. I think that's the way I have it here, in rotation order. I hope that's okay. We'll be mixing and matching, I think, if we do that. But we're going to start here with Tulsa taking on New Mexico here in the first one, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific NIT semifinals from Hinkle Fieldhouse. Both teams coming in here, number 1 seeds from their little region here in the NIT, both having won 3 straight games coming in. New Mexico with wins over Sam Houston, George Washington, St. Joe's. They only beat teams of names of people. Tulsa is not the name of a person, I don't believe. Tulsa's won 3 in a row, although 1-1-1 against the spread. Tulsa's 4-2 against the spread as a dog. New Mexico 10-12 against the spread as a favorite here in this one. Let's see what you guys have in this game between Tulsa here taking on New Mexico at Hinkle. Tulsa's the hot team here. They've won 9 of their last 10, but have struggled recently, 1-5. ATS, New Mexico's 5-0-1. ATS in their last 6 games actually coming in to this one. So yeah, it does feel like New Mexico's had a little bit uh, uh, hot hand there against the spread. Tulsa hasn't been able to cover, though, as a favorite. Interesting to note, right? New Mexico's uh, consistency here could have this one going over. I think both teams kind of trend over here, especially Tulsa. Uh, 21-10 to the over this year. New Mexico 22-10, a combined 43-20 to the over this season. Now we did see some unders there, or under yesterday in the late game. The Oklahoma game would have went under had it not gone to overtime. That was in the Crown, though, and this is at the NIT. So I don't know if it's, but Tulsa over in 8 of their last 11. Also, New Mexico over in 13 of 20. The models may go under, but I have a feeling that this one's going to be higher here. I've got to go over here with Tulsa, New Mexico. I think we could see this one up in the 170 range, actually. These two teams have been solid overs here this season, and New Mexico is 16-6 to the over as a favorite. So I'm going to go over here, even if yesterday the tournament games looked a little clunkier, looked a little underier. It went over, though, like I said, in the Oklahoma-Colorado game, but only after the overtime period. So I'm going to take the over in this one as my pick. Let's see what you guys do. Anything in this one, Tulsa and New Mexico? Up one money's here today. Mr. West was on Tulsa, but Larry is on New Mexico. That's it. I'll take the over. Okay, now let's go back to the Crown here. Just we're going in order here. Crown quarterfinal. Stanford taking on West Virginia here. Stanford was hot at the end of the season, but they did lose to Pittsburgh in the ACC tournament to end their run. But they were on a hot streak before that. Stanford, 17-14 this season against the spread. For West Virginia here, they were just 15-17 against the spread overall. West Virginia ended up losing to BYU in the conference tournament, 68-48. There in that one. West Virginia is a hardcore under, no doubt about it. They're 10-22 to the under this season, 3-7 to the under in their last 10 games overall. So let's see what you think in this one between Stanford here and West Virginia. It's a pretty much a toss-up in the line here with a 1 point spread. Stanford's won 4 of their last 5. Virginia has had some struggles on the road. This is kind of on the road here anyway, but Stanford probably has the edge in scoring and defensive consistency here, and I think that's probably why they're the slightest of favorites. But man, I would think under here. Both teams strong unders, it feels like right now. West Virginia 3-13 to the under in their last 16 games overall. So I think I like the under, but I'm going to take Stanford actually as my pick. Give me the Cardinal here to take this one. I'm taking Stanford to win over West Virginia here at the College Basketball Crown here in Vegas. Anything from the chat here with Stanford, West Virginia? West Virginia seems too easy. Stanford deserves it, says Mr. Weskers. Illinois State and Auburn here, NIT semifinal number 2. Illinois with their 3 wins here. Kent, Wake, and Dayton beating them up and beating them down with covering the spread as well in all 3 games. So 3-0 straight up in ATS coming in for Illinois State. For Auburn here, 3-0 against the spread in the tournament. 3-0 straight up. Messed the whole thing up. 3-0 straight up in the tournament so far, 0-3 against the spread in the tournament so far. Auburn has been really bad, actually, uh, right now, 2-8 in their last 10 games against the spread. Even worse, right now, into that 3-14, 3-13 against the spread in their last 16. I think I have that right, somewhere right in there anyway. Uh, it is 2-14 against the spread in their last 16 games. Okay, I got it. Um, and ISU, meanwhile, pretty strong here actually, 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 games. So Auburn, has been winning some games, but just feels like here, big bad Auburn. It seems like these big conference teams kind of El Foldo here in some of the matchups like this. Now, Illinois State's been they played in their last 5 meetings against SEC opponents, did go 5-0 to the over. Auburn has been going under recently, but you have to consider, maybe here with Illinois State, just a little bit different style of opponent. So maybe the scoring tendencies point to the over here a little bit, especially with Auburn, 13-8 to the over as a favorite. Let me see what you guys have in this one with Illinois State and Auburn here. Mr. Westwood says it cannot back Auburn at all. Basically, I think that's what he's saying. So, okay, yeah. For me, I'm going to go ahead and take the over in this one. I just watched some teams score 22 points in the second half last night and finished with 48 points in the game. But I'm going to go over here with Illinois State and Auburn. Watch out, Illinois State. Watch out for them in this one. They might actually light it up here against Auburn here. What's their team total here? Is it 60? Is it 68? No, it's 71. They'll go over that, I think. Watch out for Illinois State. I'm going over though, just to make sure. I'm taking the over. Now we're back to the late game at the college basketball crown here at the MGM Grand, and Rutgers comes in here having won 2 of 3 coming in. They got ousted by UCLA in the Big Ten tournament. Creighton, meanwhile, was eliminated by Seton Hall in their final game of the tournament. Creighton was one of the worst spread teams in the country, going just 10-22 against the spread overall, 4-12 against the spread as a favorite. Rutgers 14-10 against the spread as an underdog. So definitely a pretty good roll here for Rutgers. Given that fact, Creighton very cold. What's up with Auburn and Creighton? What we should do as gamblers is have a tournament of mediocre teams that covered a lot of spreads, right? We call it like this cover the spread invitation. How about that? Oh, better not say that. But we could take just teams that were great at great spread records, right? And we could not have Auburn at 2-14. Same with Creighton; they're 2-14 in their last 16 against the spread. Nobody wants to watch teams that can't cover the spread. Rutgers, meanwhile, 4-1 ATS in their last 5. Rutgers has lost 11 of their last 16, but this line is pretty manageable here, I would think. Creighton's last 7 games against Big Ten opponents have gone under in 6 of those. Rutgers has gone under in 10 of their last 14 games against Big East competition here. Now, Rutgers is an over team, 16-8 to the over this season. Both teams, though, lean towards lower scoring games, I think, in comparable matchups of this caliber. That's what it feels like here for me. And it's close here. I'm going to take the total though here in this one. Yes, Rutgers is the over. I'm going under in this one with Rutgers and Creighton. Creighton did go under in 6 of their last 10 with 1 push. I think the stats, the trends would kind of point towards an over here with Rutgers, but I'm going to go a little bit on the eye test here, and I'm going to go under in this one. Mr. Weskers, I think, likes Creighton. And I don't think I'm going to make it out there, Mr. Weskers. I want to watch golf tomorrow. That's it. In fact, let me share with you my golf for tomorrow. Let's do that, huh? And we're also coming up. Oh no, did we miss our start of our? Oh man, you guys, I'm so sorry. Okay, let me at least do this here. If you, I feel bad here. The footy game is starting right now. Collingwood and Brisbane. I'm sorry here. I am on Brisbane minus 17.5. You can probably get this one live, but maybe just starting here. Let me see. They probably have kicked it off. It's 12-6 right now. I'm just checking it out here. But so Brisbane is up by 6 points. If you want to go in live, I want to lay. I laid 17.5, and I went under 175.5. But I much preferred the Brisbane side there. Only went under because I believe the more so what we've seen is more unders of late from these guys. It almost always goes over when Brisbane it plays Collingwood, but right now there's been a heavy dose of unders here of late for these teams, uh, particularly Collingwood. So I went under 175.5. So just started here. Brisbane minus 17.5 is my pick. Under 117.5 here at they're playing at the GABA right now. Okay, so the footy's underway. And if you want one that hasn't started, National Rugby League starting here at the top of the hour. See, none of my Aussie friends came here tonight. Dolphins are playing the Sea Eagles here at the top of the hour, and I like this game a lot. I like the Dolphins here. Dolphins and over here right now. This one's at the top of the hour, and I like both side and total here with this one. I like the Dolphins minus 10.5 over the Sea Eagles, and I like over 50.5. So this one should be a little bit freewheeling here. Dolphins and the over in the game against the Sea Eagles. All right. So let's have some fun here in the middle of the night. And Andrew's on the under there. One more week. Oh, I was going to show my golf. Okay, let me show the golf before we go to the next. Before we go, it's NHL time. So we'll get a little bit of a pause here. But oops. Let me bring up my golf here. Let's see if we can see it here. I think I got it. For this week, the Texas Bolero Open tomorrow, and there we go. These will be my top picks here. You could they're kind of in order here. I mean, I'm not a great guy at graphics. The AI, I made the picks. The AI made the graphics, but I did say to the AI, put Jaeger up there high, even though he's 9-1, because Jaeger is my top value play, I think, out of this group. Now, I like Henley. I'm taking Straka, Jaeger there, McNeely, Hisetsune, who's been incredible here, hasn't he? What a splash he's made. And Thorbjornsen's been hot too. And look at these odds on these guys. So McNeely's a guy that I usually don't. He's usually a little bit too public for me, but I'm going to have to play him here in San Antonio for sure. And then Andrew Novak I have here as another good value spot. So look, these are, if you can read there at the bottom, it says these are my top picks based on the odds and basically my potential for the players. So you can use them for outrights, for top 5s, 10s, and top 20s, maybe for round leaders as well, or maybe for any head-to-head matchups that you see here. Don't match them up against one another. Obviously, I think too highly of them, but you can favor them in their matchups against their opponent on your particular book. So these are the golfers that I like here this week at the Valero Texas Open as we get ready for just one more week before we go to the Masters. And no Tiger there, I guess. Oh, poor Tiger. He couldn't lay off the Perkies. Okay, we're going to go to hockey next, but hopefully that's fun there with the golf. And we got a long hockey card. We're not going to go too crazy, though. Okay, did you guys like that? Okay. Mr. Wesker's going to head to the gas station there. All right. Mr. Wesker's on the Seagulls with me. All right, let's get going here on the ice. On the ice for a big card here. Get ready. This is 15 games, I believe, here in the NHL. We're going to be here probably until at least 30 minutes, I would guess, at least. Maybe even the bottom of the hour here. We don't want to spend too much time on it. I think one game did get kicked out. Maybe not. I think every game still has one team or another that is still alive here for the playoffs. So that's our criteria usually. And let's get to it. The Bruins are taking on the Panthers here. NHL action for Thursday and Sunrise. Boston comes in here now with a 4-game winning streak. Things are getting serious for Boston. They've looked very good here right now. They're also 17-9 as a favorite. Florida, for whatever, hey, they're a good home dog. They're good as a dog. They're good at home. It's been a lost season here for Florida, no doubt about it. But Boston's really on it, getting not only they're starting to win, they're starting to win on the road a little bit too. Now Boston has lost 8 of their last 11 to Florida, but they've won 6 of their last 7 overall. Florida 4-1, last 5 at home, but 3-6, last 9 overall. 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone over. Boston's gone over in 6 of their last 7, including 12 of their last 15 on the road here. In Florida is 42-32 the over this year. 5 of the last 6 meetings overall between the two teams have gone over. So let's see though what you have here in this one as we get ready to go with our hockey coverage here on Night Moves. I want to hear from you in the chat if you're on the games here with me. Florida, tends to be involved in overs with this Boston team, man, and Boston's edge at a pace right now. I think, they're not a bad call here for Boston to keep it rolling here, but maybe the over is kind of the way to go here in this one. Still Boston, what is it, $1.50 here on the screen? Playing so well. I mean, look, Florida, they keep biting me a little bit every which way. I'm not going to make this mistake this time. Even $1.50 here, I'm going to have to take Boston right now. I'm tired of losing money with Florida. Larry's going to take Florida on the puck line though. Timmy's going Bruins team total over. All right. The Blue Jackets are going to be on the road here, taking on the Hurricanes and 2 playoff-bound teams here, playing for a little bit of position here, it feels like right now, especially for the Columbus Blue Jackets here. Look, they currently are inside the playoff bubble right now, 88 points, 2 points ahead of the Ottawa Senators here currently. And that's what they're fighting for right now is that number 2 position. They're not going to move any higher probably here as we're down to the last 7 games of the season for the Hurricanes here. Well clear of Pittsburgh atop the Metro and tied with the Sabres for 100 points in the Eastern Conference. So we've got a good game here. More important probably for Columbus. Carolina they can afford a loss in a way. Columbus has lost 4 in a row, so they're clinging on for dear life right now. Carolina's found a way to get it done in 2 of their last 3 overall. They've had some wins here over Columbus, New Jersey, and Pittsburgh. So these 2 teams just met 3 nights ago. It was 5-2 in that game in favor of the Hurricanes on the road in that one. Now they're coming home, but Columbus did win 2 weeks earlier, 5-1 at home. So They traded wins there a little bit. They also played back in December, and Columbus lost that one 4-1 at the Hurricanes here. So this is the fourth game of the set, second game here in Carolina. Let's see how you guys have this or think about this one. Columbus is struggling a little bit, and Carolina is perfect at home against Columbus the last 7 meetings, but again, Columbus is playing so well here this season. They're starting to struggle right now, though, and you just wonder if it's just maybe catching up to Columbus just a little bit. Like I said, Carolina probably not. They're battling with Buffalo, and they're probably looking at that. Let's see what you have, though, with these two. Carolina is going to probably do that. Do what they do: control the possession, control the pace. They might keep the scoring down here. It feels like a little bit, despite the fact that they are 25-13 to the over at home, 38-30 as a favorite. But you know what? If it's going to be, what do we have on screen? 6/20 there. All right, I'm going to $1.75 is high. I'm going to take the Hurricanes on the puck line here, and try to score some plus money tonight. Columbus, this is definitely a losing streak. They could get it back together, but Carolina is obviously so good. I'm going to try the puck line here because the return is a little bit starting to think that maybe as we get into this last week, don't overlook it, but plus $1.30. I'm going to take Carolina here on the puck line tonight, minus the 1.5. All right, let's see here. And Larry says take the Hurricanes here. Yeah, Florida's kind of, they look like an NBA team on that injury list right now, don't they? It almost looks like a NBA injury list here late in the season. Timmy likes the under, though. Maybe it'll be right on 6 goals. I'm going to take Carolina here, puck line. Okay, the Buffalo Sabres are taking on the Ottawa Senators here on the road on Thursday. Man, Buffalo's fun. They've won 2 in a row again. Every time they go on even the shortest of losing streaks, all of a sudden they turn it around here. Back-to-back wins over Seattle and the Islanders. They were probably lucky in one of those. They beat Seattle in a shootout and did beat the Islanders there in regulation. So they've been close games. Ottawa, though, here, meanwhile, has lost 3 straight, albeit 2, Pittsburgh, Tampa Bay, and Florida. Not an easy schedule there of late, but man, Buffalo, come on. They own this series against the Ottawa Senators here overall. They've been winning this series for the last 3 seasons, it seems like right now. Buffalo, it's 6 straight. I'm getting carried away here, but also strong on the road. 7 of their last 8 here for Buffalo right now. Buffalo, 21-13. Basically, I think there's an underdog here still. $1.15, $1.20. Buffalo's the dog in this game. Give me Buffalo here. I'm not selling Ottawa short. 18-11 at home. They've been a terrific money team as well right now. But I think overall, you think of maybe the season series can carry this one a little bit here. As I said, they've dominated. Both teams have been scoring goals. That's for sure here. Buffalo just had a 4-3 game. They've had 7-goal games here in 4 of the last 5, basically. Ottawa, meanwhile, just comes off that 6-3 game against Florida, and they've had some goals in there. But it is 6.5. So go ahead and give me Buffalo here. We'll see. Well, I'm going to see about the total later. Let's see anybody in the chat with this one. Maybe an under here for Timmy. Sabres even money. Thank you. And Columbus under here for Timmy. And Larry goes under in her Buffalo game there. Sorry about that, you guys. All right, next up. I know we're going a little fast here, guys. A big NHL card, and I can't be keeping you here all night. Pittsburgh, winners of 2 straight here on the road, taking on the Lightning. Lightning's won 2 of 3. Pittsburgh with wins over Detroit and the Islanders here. Good wins there. Of late, Tampa Bay, meanwhile, a little bit down here on them. Lost to Montreal last time out. They did beat Nashville before that. Wasn't a great effort, but they did get it done in that one. 3-2, and they're a pretty big favorite here, obviously. But Pittsburgh's one of the best road teams in the NHL, man. 20-9 this season for Pittsburgh. Yes, Tampa Bay 39-25 as a favorite, 23-13 at home. Laying $1.75 here though in this one, and Pittsburgh has struggled, lost 4 of the last 5 against Tampa overall. Tampa's home form is pretty good, 15 of the last 20. Probably be some goals, I would think, in this one. I mean, the total there 6.5 over at -115 or so. You have a Pittsburgh team that's 26-19. To the over as an underdog, and Tampa Bay 35-29 is a favorite here. I'm going to take the over here. Give me the over in this one. Pittsburgh feels live actually in this game, right? But still, it is Tampa Bay here right now, and I don't want to skip out on the fact that Pittsburgh. They might be stuck in second. The Islanders are kind of on their tail a little bit there in the Metro. Meanwhile, for Tampa, they're still trying to fight off the Canadians here and still within striking distance of Buffalo. So this is going to be an important game here in this one. I'll go over, though. I'm going to go over in this one. All right, Timmy says, give me Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh beat them at Tampa. Yeah, it was a 2-1. Oh no, Pittsburgh beat them. 4-3 back there in December. Tampa won in Pittsburgh 2-1 in January. So they've split the series this year so far, with each team winning on the other's home ice. Okay, and under here. I'm so I wish my emoji game was a little better. This is a good hockey card. I mean, at least there's that. Got Detroit and Philadelphia here. Now, both these teams are on the outside looking in, and they both have to chase down Columbus here, and Ottawa's still in there. Ottawa has 86 points as well. Both these teams have 86 points. Columbus has 88 points, and Columbus is a big underdog here tonight, right? So a very important game, probably more so for the winner. We're running out of time, just 8 games left for these two teams, and they are not in the playoffs yet. They need to put it together here right now. Detroit's lost 2 in a row, so they're not looking too great. In fact, they've been dropping a few more than that. Philadelphia's been serious, so they've won 3 of 4. They did lose their last time out to Washington, 6-4 on the road. So, but still, they were playing well before that. Detroit, though, meanwhile, not so good. They've been playing poorly, losing to Boston, Ottawa, Philly, Pittsburgh here right at the wrong time. Philadelphia is 14-7 as a favorite, 17-12 at home. Detroit's good on the road, 19 of 13, but they're having, like I said, some issues here. It feels like of late right now, and might be a bad time to do it. Their road form is pretty weak. They've lost 4 of 5. Philly has won 6 of their last 8 at home. Now, I think the trends on this between these two teams favors a low-scoring game, although the last one, 2 of the last 3 were kind of a high-scoring game. So at 5.5, it probably is where it's supposed to be. I kind of would love to take an under at 6, but I'm going to take the Flyers here in this one. But my tinfoil hat is rolling around over here. I'm going to take the Flyers in this one for sure. Give me the Flyers to beat Detroit right now. Big game for both teams here. It almost feels like, look, there's still 7 games after that, but again, one team's going to gain, the points here, and the other one's going to not. It feels like a little bit of almost elimination game. And they could turn around and win them all, but important game. Okay, Flyers for Larry. Under. These guys go under, says Timmy. They do. They do. It's 5.5. It's going to be close, but probably going to have to find my way to an under here. Let's see. Detroit lost the last two, Timmy said. He said he's going to take them to get one after losing those games to Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. By the way, that was a 5-3 game. It was just 5 days ago. In that one, 5-3, Philadelphia won at Detroit. So Detroit does have the revenge here. In fact, they have double revenge. Oh no, I'm sorry. That was the first matchup of the season. Their first matchup. Canadians and Rangers here, NHL action for Thursday. Well, you got the Rangers at home, but before, oh man, this is going to be tough because Montreal is hot once again, and they're going to make it. They're in. They're not going to blow it from here. They're only looking to chase down Tampa Bay or Buffalo here. They're not going to fall in any total wild card. They could. I take that back. Right now, you do have. Let me look at it here. Boston is 2 points behind them, so yeah, it's important here for the Canadians for sure. They want to hang on. Boston here could move into third place and send Montreal back to the wild card. Now they're both going to make the playoffs, so that's not an issue. The Rangers are not going anywhere. We know that, but this is a spot kind of right where the Rangers here could play spoiler. Man, could you really? They've won 3 in a row here right now, and for whatever reason, they're playing their best hockey. They beat Chicago and Florida and New Jersey. Those are non-playoff caliber teams. They are not the Montreal Canadiens here. So I'm not gonna. Everything's screaming at me over here on my model. To take the Rangers. I just can't do it. I mean, come on, I'm a Montreal pseudo fan here. So let me see. Maybe I should go to the total in this one, just so I don't embarrass myself here. But Montreal 6-game winning streak here. Actually, Rangers just 1-6 against Montreal as well. Montreal defensive control. They should really keep the Rangers in check here, shouldn't they? If you think about it, is it 6.5? I'll just go with it. No, it's 6/20. What does it say on screen here? 6/20. All right. Now give me Montreal here in this one. I'm going to go against the computer here. Pay good money for this computer, but I've got to go with the Canadians in this one to keep riding this winning streak. And plus, it's still the Rangers at home, which has been money all season long. Don't forget it. They are just 12-18 at home, and Montreal is one of the best road teams in the league, 21-8 on the road. So what am I overthinking this for? And what is this computer thinking over? The computer thinks of is the price probably too high on Montreal? And yes, it probably is. That's what the computer is supposed to be doing. All right. Hello to Rich. Rich here today, and Larry's on the Rangers. Larry. I'm not even gonna at you on this one. I'm supposed to take him here. Yeah, Richie. You know what? I'm listing Fowler here right now. Do you guys have Dobbs in there? Right now, because I'm listing Fowler in this game. But, I think, look, Sam's the one that's kind of out of favor here, right? Let's see. Canadians have lost the last two to the Rangers. I think that's what he means. Give them the Habs here. They seem to be ramping up. Rangers have won the last 2 meetings here. Both of them here one was at Montreal. Rangers won by 1 in both of those games. So Rangers have won both meetings this season, interestingly enough. Oh, I might have got that wrong then, because I said, no, it was Rangers 1-6. against Montreal. 6-1. Rangers 6-1 against Montreal. My apologies there. Couldn't read my writing. Rangers do own the series. Rangers own the series. Okay. Hey, you want to say hello to Zab here? Look at we got a is that you, Ron? Thank you to Zab. He's talking a little bit of KBO in here today. And I have not opened my KBO ledger here at Tony's Picks today, and I'm not going to probably do so on the show. But you know what? The fact that it's being requested, maybe I will try to come in here with some KBO action for you guys, at least free. You know what? If I can hit some plays on the show, then maybe I can open my ledger at Tony'sPicks.com. We have a guy at Tony's Picks who's very, very good in his Ron Crawford. Been doing it ever since the pandemic, basically when we all did it, when we all were. Of course, I didn't continue to do it too much, but I do see the card here tonight, and probably better card than the Major League Baseball card right now. And it gets underway here at the bottom of the hour here right now. And Japan just getting underway as well. I actually prefer Japan to the KBO as well, so that kind of keeps me off the KBO here at Tony's Picks. We got a great guy in Ron doing it. Don't get me wrong, I'll bet these games here, but nothing. Haven't opened up my ledger here in the KBO. I do enough picking up these other sports at Tony's. But thank you to Zab and NFT Up. Sounds like I got tag teamed here a little bit with the KBO guys coming in there at the same time, but very, very interesting. Thank you. Oh, that's great information. Great information, Zab, talking about the Hanwha game here, playing KT Wiz. Today, Hanwha favored here about $1.30, and the total looks like pretty much 9.5 over or 10 under there in that one. Okay, we're going to keep it going here right now in the NHL, and we're going to go next with the Capitals here, taking on the Devils. Here in this one, Devils going to be favored at home just slightly here, about $1.15, 6.5 under 15 right now. Capitals come in here on a 3-game winning streak right now with wins here over Utah, Vegas, Philadelphia. Nice job, Washington. They're going to end up just short as well here of the postseason. Not going to be totally down on them here yet. They are just 3 points behind, but they have to pass Philadelphia, Detroit, and Ottawa just to try to catch that second spot. So they're going to need more than just a couple of wins here. They're going to need to pass up all these teams. That's what makes it a little bit difficult, but they are live here. It's not over for them. They are just 11-16 as an underdog. New Jersey 19-15 at home. New Jersey, they're not going to the postseason. They are 8 points behind Washington, much less 13 points or 10 points out of a playoff spot. They are not eliminated yet, but they pretty much need to win them all from this point forward. And here you have Washington did win 2 consecutive meetings between the teams here this season. So let's see if the chat has anything, though, in this one with Washington here taking on the Devils. Washington's gone under in 14 of their last 19. They have had home success against New Jersey, but this one's at New Jersey here. New Jersey tends to play overs at home, and a balanced structure from Washington's defense might keep it under here, considering that New Jersey does play a little bit of unders at home here in this one. Let's see what you've got, though. I mean, like I said, Washington is the team with a little bit of motivation here, still breathing. New Jersey, while not eliminated, is virtually eliminated. All right, here we go with Capitals versus Devils under here for Larry. Timmy says go with the over, though. And that's it from you guys there in that one. And for me, I'm going to take the Washington Capitals here on the road. Give me the Caps. Love the alternative sports chat in the chat there. I'm always playing myself. I see you guys talk a little Korean basketball in there. I'm pretty big on the Chinese basketball league. Those games don't get underway for a few more hours here. All right, next up, we've got Canucks here at the Wild. The Canucks, everyone's talking Canucks hockey here tonight after the big win last night. A plus 350 underdog winner over Chicago, over Colorado in that 8-6 Wild game. Congratulations, man, Vancouver. Everyone was making fun of them all day long as we had the first 450 favorite. Now here's the Wild $4 favorite. So maybe they will get it done. But you know what? Don't disrespect the Canucks. I think that's what we're going to tell you right now. Make the other team $4 favorite. You got to take those Canucks, right? Now they are on a back-to-back here, so let's not get carried away. Minnesota has not looked good, though, here of late with losses to decent teams, Boston and Tampa Bay. They also lost to Chicago, however. But Vancouver, they were left for dead, and they weren't even going to have a chance to win that game, and they led big early. And I can't give you a lot of stats that it would say that Vancouver's got a chance even here again today, other than the fact that maybe Minnesota here has lost a few games extra of late, but nonetheless, it's been all Minnesota here. The strong home defense. They've gone 5 under in 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams. Vancouver, pretty bad road form here, but they did get the win there last night, so great job there in that one. I mean, you'd think Minnesota puck line might be the way to go, but still end up kind of you saw what happened there last night. So let's see here. I'm going to make my pick, but you guys want to pick one, let me know. And I'll probably just go to the total here because I'm scared. Probably supposed to take Vancouver again, even on the back-to-back here, but who wants to do that? So let's see here. I mean, obviously there were a lot of goals yesterday in that game, but is it really going to happen the same way here against Minnesota that it did against Colorado? All right, let's see here. Minnesota team total over here for Timmy Two Shoes. He does, not a big fan of the backup goalie in there. So give me the under, though, here in this one with Vancouver and Minnesota. I will take the under. Okay. Kaprizov 2 points possibly there for Timmy. Okay, here's the Jets taking on the Stars here in this one. NHL action for Thursday. Now, Stars here riding high. Only $1.55, but they've been cold. The Jets have been hot. What can you say? Now, the Jets are trying to get here into the postseason. Currently 2 points behind the Kings. They're not done yet. Stars, we know, are in. I mean, Stars are already clinched. They're not going to catch Colorado probably. They're going to stay in second place. I don't want to say it's a level of complacency here necessarily, but the Wild could catch them. They're 6 points back, but still the Stars are favored here. Jets playing a little bit inspired, that's for sure. Coming into this one, for the Jets here, Winnipeg is struggling on the road, though, still 1-5 in their last 6. Dallas has been dominant at home, winning 10 of their last 14. The historical trends between these two kind of favor Dallas, covering the puck line here, I would think a little bit, but man, can you really do it? Dallas won the last one 4-3. Dallas won at home 4-3. Also, they won at Winnipeg 4-3, and they won at Winnipeg 5-4 this season. So, all Dallas wins, all 1-goal games there. So, what do? You look at the line. You're like, okay, you got Dallas here at minus $1.70. The puck line for Winnipeg is minus $1.70 too. So, oh boy. Maybe we just better look at the total in this one. I don't know. For Dallas, here they are, or Winnipeg here, 18-13 to the over as an underdog here. Okay, let me go to the chat and see if I can get a winner out of them. I think you're supposed to take Winnipeg here. I'm taking Winnipeg on the money line. That's what I'm doing. Of course, I'm taking Winnipeg on the money line. Okay, I came here without a pick on that one, but now I know. I see it clearly. Take Winnipeg, despite being a little bit weak here on the road of late. Uh, they have a poor record as an underdog. There's no doubt about it. 11-21, but they're a big underdog here. So I'm taking Winnipeg. All right, let's see here. We've got Jimmy said the Jets can win in Dallas. Next up, the Blackhawks are on the road here, taking on the Oilers. In this one, you've got Oilers at 235 here, maybe even 245 total, 6.5 flat. Edmonton winners of 4 straight. Chicago losers of 4 straight. Edmonton clobbered Seattle, Anaheim. They beat Vegas. They beat Utah. Chicago with losses to Philadelphia, the Rangers, New Jersey, and Winnipeg here of late. So probably decent matchup here, of course, for Edmonton. This one, Chicago's also can never beat these guys. Period. 1-10 the last 11 meetings between these two teams. Edmonton's home form right now pretty good, 6-2. So it almost makes a straight up win. Dare I say lock? But maybe the puck line will be okay here in this one. Chicago is 46-25 as a puck line dog. It's not awful here. Edmonton 26-38 as a puck line favorite. Mediocre results for sure, but I'll take Edmonton here on the puck line. This Edmonton team, I can't believe how well they've done here without King Leon in there right now, and really doing a good job here. They're probably Chicago's been giving up a ton of goals here in these games, losing here 6-1 to the Rangers, 5-1 to Philadelphia. Probably be some goals, I would think, here in this game between these two, even though it's 6.5. I'm going to take the Oilers here on the puck line. All right, and Oilers and under there for Larry. And Timmy's on the Hawks here, plus 1.5. Next up, we've got the Mammoth here taking on the Kraken. NHL action here for Thursday, and we've got here more plays here from the guys. These you guys are having a great conversation in there on the KBO. Probably get me playing some here if we can get off the air. But Seattle losers here of 2 straight coming in right now with losses to Buffalo and Edmonton here. For Utah, they're coming in a win over the Kings 6-2 on the road. They're in that one. Utah comes in here pretty good road form, actually 6-2 in their last 8. They're also 27-21 as a favorite. They've ended up here $1.30 favorite on the road against this Kraken team. Seattle is just 1-5 in their last 6 at home. So Utah is playing well on the road. Seattle struggling at home. Maybe higher scoring than expected, giving these two teams what we've seen of late between them. Now, Seattle is 12-24 to the under at home, so I don't know if I'm just quite ready to get there yet in that one with that total. And I'm looking at the total here right now at 6/20. It gives me pause for sure here. Just give me Utah. I'm going to take the Mammoth here on the road. They certainly here right now in the playoffs, so 82 points. They're not going to blow it. They're not going to fall out. Seattle, meanwhile, 3 points back. They are motivated here, but Utah is the better team record-wise, and I'm going to take them here against Seattle. All right, here we go. And it's going to be Larry on the Mammoth here. And let's see here. That might be it on this one for you guys. Kraken here in McMahon for a point for Timmy. Thanks to the guys for stopping in tonight with the KBO talk. And I'll bring it in. I'll bring it on here a little bit. Uh, let me know if you're coming here every night. I'll be ready. All right, we're just about ready here with 3 more games left on this lengthy card with Calgary on the road taking on the Golden Knights. We are doing it, by the way, Brisbane leading by 12 here in the 15 minutes ago in the second quarter. All right, here we go with Vegas. Man, they finally won there with new coach John Tortorella. They fired Bruce Cassidy, and they won 4-2 over Vancouver. And now you get another, I don't want to say relatively easy assignment here, playing Calgary here right now, but Calgary's one of the worst road teams in the league at 10-23 right now. So probably a pretty good matchup. Maybe they want to get Tortorella in here, can build a little momentum, change the coach, make it look like we're winning because of the coaching change, and see if they can get it. Calgary struggles on the road against Vegas, 1-7 in their last 8. Vegas' home dominance, 12-2 in their last 14 games, despite what was going on there, makes it covering a puck line here probably a realistic target. I think it's even money here right now. Yeah, we'll see if there's goals here. I mean, Vegas is an over team for sure, and Calgary has had a few overs here of late as well. You look at what Vegas has done here right now with this strong home streak. I mean, they still found the reason to fire the coach, but they've won 12 of the last 14 games at home against Calgary. They've actually lost 4 or 5 overall. Couldn't read my notes there. Vegas definitely were struggling here and made the move. Calgary's won 5 of their last 7, so it does feel like maybe covering by margin might be a little bit tougher than you'd think. Let me roll with the computer here a little bit and see what it is suggesting, because look, they were able to beat a team here in that first game out like Vancouver, and they do own these guys, so come on. Give me Vegas here on the puck line tonight one more time with Torts, and we'll see if he can do it again. See if Tortorella can do it again, get a 2-goal win tonight over a bad team. All right, let's see what the chat has to say. All right, it's going to be here. I think Larry going to be taking here. I think Larry might be taking Calgary Flames. Yep, that's what that is. He likes the Flames here. And also here, let's see. Timmy's going to go over there. Dorofeyev to get a goal. Timmy says there's overs with these 2 games for sure. And let's see here. Timmy says the Flames in Vegas the last 10. Oh, you're just comparing those games where well, it's been Vegas that owns these guys, that's for sure. I mean, Vegas has dominated the series. So what did we say it was? 12 of the last 14 at home for Vegas. All right, 2 more here. Look, this one makes the cut with the Maple Leafs and the Sharks. I mean, the Sharks, they're close, so they're right there on the cusp of the playoffs. Just 1 game, one point behind the Kings here right now. Maple Leafs are toast, we know that. So they're not eliminated, but they're pretty much done here. But look, it's been an interesting road trip here for Toronto right now. They have a couple of wins, or they have 1 win over Anaheim last time out. They lost to St. Louis. San Jose, the winners of 3 straight right now, and in overdrive here, it looks like. Now, they're not a great favorite. San Jose just 2-6 as a favorite this year, but come on. They're going to win this game, aren't they, over Toronto? San Jose 8-3 in their last 11 at home. Toronto struggles on the road when they've come to San Jose, and that's when San Jose wasn't as good as they are now. 3-8 in their last 11. I think that should be a total expected to be controlled by the Sharks in this defense here. It might be tough, actually, for Toronto in this game. Not only is the Sharks 2-6 as a favorite. Not great, but they are 2-6 to the under as well. That makes it a little bit interesting. But I'm gonna kind of want to. If this thing's 6.5, I kind of want to take the under, and I want to play the Sharks here. But I'm going to do that. Give me the under as my official play here on Night Moves, and we're going to find some room to play the Sharks on a premium somewhere here. So, okay, let's see anything else from the group here. It's going to be over for Timmy. Uh-oh. Well, Larry knows with me. He sees it as an under. Okay, one more tonight, and next up is going to be the Preds taking on the Kings. And, Kings they found a way to get a very important win. They're right now unbelievably inside the playoff bubble here right now. Nashville, they're breathing right down their neck. This is such a huge game. Nashville has 77 points. The Kings have 78 points right now. I'm worried. Nashville has lost 3 straight, but I love to bet on Nashville. Maybe it's going to be an emotional hedge here. Maybe I should go to the total so I don't look like I'm playing the emotional hedge. Because I do kind of like Nashville here in this game. They've won 14 of the last 20 meetings against these two, and LA at home right now. You just don't know what to do. They're 11-17 at home, but Nashville is a poor dog. 18-32 is a dog, 14-16 on the road. But Nashville, these two teams have been alternating wins and losses. Nashville won at home in the only other meeting so far this season, 5-4. I don't know if it's enough to consider, but it's going to be a tight defensive game. Again, you're looking at 5.5. These Kings games are all always like that here. So let me take the under because I don't want anybody to think I'm just taking Nashville because I'm a Kings fan. I might be on Nashville still as a premium, though. So let's see that. I think I like that. But give me the under as my official play here. Let's see what you have to say. And then the show is over. Timmy says go under, I think. Also, let's see here. I think that's it. Thanks a lot, you guys. Great job by the chat pros today. Great job by the guys coming in talking a little overseas sports. I do love to hear that as well. So I gave out my pick for the rugby match that just went off as well. Don't forget between Manly and the Dolphins there. Manly's out to the lead though, actually 10-0. So okay, I'm gonna go check that out. And I really do appreciate it. I did hit a middle there. You guys are talking Chinese basketball, and I see if I have it here, but I got a little arbitrage there in one of those games. What was that big game when Szechuan, the line moved like 10 points. Did you see that? It was minus 30 or 33, and it went down to 23 overnight there in those games there last night. And I was able to spring into action there a little bit and get on some of those games. We just have 2 games tonight over in Japan. I can tell you right now, Shenzhen, I like over over the Golden Bulls there. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna lay the points. I do have a little CBA. I can go on the fly a little bit in the CBA, I think, there, and know what I'm doing here tonight in those games. So they do come up here in a little while, and let's see there. Oh no, let me make sure I got these matchups right. Shenzhen is favored by 3.5 over the Lions. Okay. Yeah, I like Shenzhen there for sure. Shenzhen and over, that's going to be the move is correct in that game. Shenzhen and over there, and probably the under with Monkey King. Okay, that's going to do it. You guys. Really appreciate it. Be back here tomorrow with more night moves. Don't forget, head on over to Tony'sPicks.com for our premium picks over there, and I'll probably be focusing mostly on the hockey and the NBA there tomorrow night. So thanks for joining me here on Night Moves. Remember, use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 10%, 15% off those premium pick packages over there. great day of sports coming up. Hope you enjoy, and I'll be back here tomorrow with more overnight action on Night Moves. For the Tony's Picks YouTube channel, I'm Ramon Scott. Good night.